So I'm going to do this gorgeous fig, pecan and orange cake. It's a loaf cake, and look at that gorgeous cream cheese icing on top as well.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Now, I'm going to do mine in a ring mould, in a sort of fluted ring mould, and that's what gives it those gorgeous sharp edges. This is a fantastic mould. It's an investment piece. It'll last forever. It works really well with any cake, so you can do all your cakes in here. But if you've not got one...
It looks like something out of the, you know, when you put the car bonnet up?
Or maybe like a sort of hat for Ascot, you never know.
It's good.
A hard-hitting hat. So this is a normal cake, so it's butter and sugar, and I've creamed those, and I've got one egg yolk, one orange zest in here, zest of one orange. I'm going to add the second one because the flavours for this, it's really autumnal. It's a really gorgeous, got cinnamon in it, because I know you love cinnamon, girl.
It's so warming and Christmassy.
It is, and it's perfect for autumn, isn't it? Now that finally this morning there was frost on the houses outside my house, and I just felt so cosy, and I thought this is the perfect cake for that. So in with the orange zest now, and then I'm going to add the eggs, so it's just 2 eggs. And then I'm going to add some buttermilk. Now, buttermilk, if you can't find it, because sometimes it can still be quite difficult to get hold of, you can just use the same quantity of half milk, half whole milk, half natural yoghurt, and a squeeze of lemon juice just to acidulate it and make it sort of curdle. So in with the eggs, I'm going to beat those in with a bit of elbow grease, and then in with that buttermilk. And the thing is, if you can't get one of these tins or you don't want to buy one, that's fine. You can do this in a really long loaf tin. So you might need to alter the cooking times a little bit, but you can still use it. There's a way around it, you see. I wouldn't do it in a big round tin because it won't cook very evenly in the centre. But a loaf tin, a long loaf tin, a £2 loaf tin is perfect. But just keep your eye on it. So beat the buttermilk in. And the buttermilk is there because this is like a puddingy type of cake. It's really moist. And actually, if you're not a fan of Christmas cake, because a lot of people don't really like Christmas cake. And
sometimes a bit too much.
It can be a bit much, can't it? This is a great alternative. And you can put anything in it. I've got milk all over myself now.
You should have worn a penny.
My mum's going to shout at me.
You should have worn a penny.
I should have worn a penny. We have got pennies somewhere, but we need to find them, don't we?
Yes, we do. We'll get you a penny for next week.
Get a penny next week. Partner's going to go mad because he does all the washing. So in with the flour, and then for that flavour, the cinnamon in there.
Oh, that's a good dot of cinnamon.
And then a little bit of baking powder in there as well, just give it a bit of a lift. So I'm going to bring this together into a dough, and I'm just going to fold the flour through because I don't want to glutenise the flour. Again, I spoke about this before with cakes. If you glutenise the flour, it can make your cake really rubbery and horrible, and we don't want that. So when the flour's just about incorporated, I'm going to add those figs, and these are dried figs, because fresh figs, they're insipid, aren't they? Really, they've got a bit watery. And there's nothing worse than a watery fig. So in with dried figs, so they're really sweet and gorgeous, and then some pecans. My favourite nut pecans. These are great at this time of year. So fold this together. And you've got to be quite gentle with this because, again, you don't want to glutenise that flour, you don't want to make it really rubbery, but you've got to make sure that all your bits and bobs, your figs and your pecans, are really well incorporated and well distributed in the batter. So that'll do me about fine.
Lovely.
Now, you can put a bit of vanilla extract in there as well. You don't have to because of already got loads of bold flavours in there. But it adds a little bit of something, I think. It just rounds it all off, doesn't it?
And what is that? Just vanilla essence?
Well, it's vanilla bean paste. So it's a really thick... Basically, it's sugar syrup, and they blend together the vanilla pod, vanilla beans, and make it really sticky. So it's got more flavour, because extract can often be just alcohol and vanilla. No, that's never a bad thing. But when you put it in a cake, you want it to be flavoursome. So I'm going to put this into the tin, and it takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes in the oven. And it's at 170 degrees, which is 150 fan, and that's gas mark 3, because I know a lot of people still use the gas mark. So if it's gas mark, it's gas mark 3. And you'll see it's quite a puddingy batter. So distribute it round the tin.
And as you said, if you haven't got one of those, you can just put it in a loaf tin.
But I will say this, you've got to grease it so well. Because it's a really thick batter. If you don't grease it really, really well, it can stick. So into the oven with that in a second. Now for the top, I'm going to blend together some full-fat cream cheese. You know me and full fat, we get along perfectly well.
A little bit of what you fancy.
It doesn't do you any harm.
It
but
does
also,
you good.
if you don't use full-fat, Lorraine, then it'll split, and you don't want that.
You've got to go for it, for goodness sake.
I like your theory. So in with the cream cheese, in with the icing sugar. Just gently bring these together, because you don't want to disappear in a cloud of icing sugar. Although there are worse things to disappear in, but you still don't want to get it all over yourself. So bring this together into a smooth sort of... It will soften, and then I'm going to add the zest of an orange again and the juice of a full orange, and it'll be a gorgeous drizzle.